see. This is essential. Okay. Screen share, desktop. I want to share my screen. Okay, everyone's happy. And hopefully YouTube can hear me and all that. I'll just plug in this little thingamajig. And now you have to be a little patient because I need to find a little email. It's not an issue. Let's see, email, because I simply can't remember all this admin. Well, not all this admin, it's just a little piece of admin that someone asked me. And to protect the privacy, oh, it doesn't matter because it'll be on YouTube. So I can't, okay. Right, so Professor van Zyl, you know, we did this YouTube experiment where basic idea was to see if we can make the classes accessible to people who do not want to come to class. Some people have social issues or disabilities or overwhelming sense of laziness that prevents them from coming to class. As do I. You're very lucky that I've come to all these classes that you've had. Okay. Now, so we did the YouTube experiment, and now it's time for feedback. And I think everybody has given feedback, but they kind of realized that you haven't given feedback. You, the faithful, loyal peasants with your miserable lives who have actually come to class. So, do you have anything to, first, let's answer the questions. Perhaps this is some kind of formal experiment. I don't even need to write this down because it's all recorded on YouTube, which is amazing. Okay. Do you feel in any way that you've been disadvantaged in any way because you came to class and did not watch YouTube? Okay. No comments? Okay, good. Did any of you watch the YouTube videos? Okay, who has watched one or more of this class's YouTube videos? Just keep your hands up a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 35-ish students, perhaps 32. Who has watched 2 or more of these videos? Come on, please participate. Don't be lazy. Okay, the same people. Good. Okay. Who has watched every single one? That hurts. That it goes to the heart. Okay, right. Do you find it a useful source for revision? If I may, who has watched, let's say, 3 or more videos? A lot of you still, okay? But let's take someone. Simone, who sits next to you again? Peter. No, not Peter. Roger. Robert? John, exactly. Yes, Sean. You watched 3 or more?
Well, I was actually part of the test group.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not sure whether I'm valid for these.
No, you're not. Okay, so let's repeat this whole piece of admin. Who is not part of the test group and has watched 2 or more? Simone, I'll pick you. Why did you watch them?
Sorry?
Why did you watch them?
Because it was Friday morning, 8 o'clock, and I did not want to get out of bed.
Oh, I see. So you watched them as a substitute.
Yes.
Okay, that's excellent. That's fine. I don't mind that at all. Did you watch them live?
Yes.
How were they?
Actually, quite nice.
Actually, I didn't expect it to be, but actually quite nice. Okay, excellent. So the sound quality was good?
Yeah. Sometimes if you stand in that corner,
Yes, switching off the lights.
and if people don't speak up in class, then you can't hear it.
People don't speak up in class, you can't hear anything. Good. Yeah, well, the people speaking in class will never be able to fix that issue because we can't mic up everyone in class. But I can mic up. I'm supposed to have a microphone, but just feels so Madonna to always be wearing a little microphone. Okay, right. So now, one last try. Who has watched these videos after also being physically in the class? Okay, excellent. So I'll pick a victim. Jan, who sits next to you? Armand.
My
Sorry, Mari. Who sits next to you, Mari? Christian. Oh, wow. Well, third time lucky. Christian, you watched the video after being in class. Why did you do that? Oh, so I did code in class that I didn't put on the web, on the slides. Okay, I think good. Okay, I don't think I think we've exhausted this little topic. Now I need you to do something else. There's another little piece of admin. So there's a master student. He's not my student, but he's doing his MSc about social networks. His name is Dirk Brandt. Oh, he's a demi, so you all know. He's one of our demis. And he's doing his master's. And he needs feedback. So he'll probably send you an email as well, but I just wanted to show you now and ask you to participate to help him. This is not a bad thing. I mean, it's a good idea. I mean, even if you don't want to do MSc, it's a good idea to know what the university is doing. Because you're going to work for a company someday, and they're going to say, oh, if only we could do A, B, and C. And it might turn out that the university is working on that. There's lots of really fascinating projects going on. So he's developing a system. He's developing a system that automatically rates comments on News24 or on any social media site, Facebook, let's say. But he happens to have News24 data. Who has visited News24? Who has read the comments on News24? Okay, so you've noticed that the comments very quickly, I shouldn't be putting this on YouTube, very quickly, the comments on News24 degrade into some kind of insanity. I'm pretty sure that that website is frequented by mostly insane people. Because I think it's jacked right into some psychiatric center where they treat patients by giving them this kind of social media treatment. Because there can be an article about a new flower arrangement competition that was held in Brakpan, and pretty soon the people in the comments are trying to kill each other. I mean, they go ballistic. It's my experience. I've never seen the same discussion. So it's a valuable thing on this platform and on others to rate comments automatically, and he's making such a system. But for him to make it, he needs to have some feedback. Is the system doing well or not? And so he needs humans to also write the comments, just to train his system up. So he's made this website where users, you visit it, and you get nothing. You get absolutely nothing. Unless you switch on your iNet key. Let's us do that. Fine. Let's try again. So he's made this little website where he asks you to write a comment on two aspects. Language, is the language clear? Basically, can you read what the commenter is saying, or is it really tough to make heads of tails of their inane babblings? He says, look at the user's spelling, but sometimes I've rated a few comments just for fun, see if it works, and not for fun, to help you. But sometimes people do make mistakes, but you can't only say this comment is perfect or not. I mean, sometimes it's clear what people are trying to say. And also look at the user's argument structure and the informativeness or relevance of the comment. Now, that's a little difficult because sometimes you can't really tell if it's a relevant comment or not. It depends on the, sometimes there's a discussion and people mention things and they refer to it, may not be that related to the article. So here's an article title, Israeli border may divide Christian district. That's fine. And then someone commented, perhaps deep down in the comments, if the apartheid wall is built in Palestinian land or East Jerusalem, then it's against international law and must be demolished. Well, that's a nicely structured sentence, okay, and seems logical. The court concludes that the Israeli settlements in the occupied Palestinian territory, I guess this is a quote, have been established in breach of international law. That must be the International Court of Human Rights, what have you. And the construction of the wall being built by Israel, the occupying power in the occupied blah, 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 blah. International Court of Justice. Oh. Well, yes, I guess the language is good. And he's not really making a big argument, but it's kind of not insane. So I'll say okay, and I'll just say next. Waiting for the, okay, fine. You get another comment. You can carry on for as long as you like, and if the comment is just, oh, Merck drives off highway. Okay, I want to write this. Okay. Whatever race groups you may belong to is of no consequence. Very good point. Off. Not every person of a certain race group works for the government. Okay, true. Or you need your tax money to be able to pay off luxury vehicles, and believe it or not, some have driver's licenses, valid ones as well. Okay, so I can kind of deduce the context, and the language is not perfect, but I mean, it's perfectly clear what they're saying. So I'll say that it's good. And argument, it's not a banana. No, this person is saying something good. What they're saying is, I'm guessing that someone made a racist comment and said something nasty about black people. I'm guessing. I'll reinterpret this in a moment about white people, but something about black people. This person is saying that, no, some black people don't all work for the government, and some have valid driver's licenses, and they're good ones, good drivers as well. Okay, fine. So I think that's a nice comeback. I don't know if it's good because it's not an argument, but also it's good because it's clear what they mean. I'm guessing that they're not saying this in response to a bad comment about white people, because obviously not all white people work for the government. Nobody would think that. Who would think that? And many white people have driver's licenses. I mean, that's not a discrimination. So I'll just say it. Anyways, this is really controversial. I don't really want to see the next one, just in case it's too interesting. Top legal minds fight. Oh, good. I'm against Oscar. Is this person trying to chat to me? Okay, so here is the website link, but I asked Dirk to send an email to all the first years and second years and third years as well, so you'll get that soon. I'm just telling you about it because I really like to. I'd really like you to help him. What does Professor Van Zyl says? This is a golden opportunity for an undergraduate student to get a small taste of the kind of research we do. Exactly what I said. And she wrote this long time ago. But I haven't seen this. Cool. Right. Excellent. So please do that if you have a moment. Now, what's this? Oh, that's my thingamajig. I'm going to close this. I don't need internet access, but I'm too scared to close it because in case it crashes everything. This system should really be working. A document camera is not connected. You lie. I'll connect it immediately. Okay, let me just sort out this camera. Yes, I want to exit image mode, and then let's see if it works the second time around. I feel this is not working as well as it did in the past. I'm pretty sure everything is as it's supposed to be. Camera's working. Oh, this will be a big disappointment if this thing stops working. Oh, hang on. Perhaps it's already... No, it's not. Okay. Just give me a sec. Image mode. Okay, fine. The document camera is not connected. You are lying, sir. You are lying. It is connected. Okay, so now the real issue is what happens if this little cable is broken? It will not be good for my reputation. Okay, now I'm connecting it. I didn't bring my small camera. Okay, Well, we can watch it in class, but I really want to watch it on the computer. Open a still image? No. Yes. You mean I kind of like hold the paper up in front? No. Firstly, I'm not exactly sure how to activate my camera because I've tried in the past. And secondly, this should work. I mean, the camera works. And great. Another day, another problem with this thing. I'm not happy. And I can't go fetch my own camera. Never mind. Today we'll make do without class notes. We have the slides. So I have a secret fantasy that we can be done. Just 1 minute. I have a secret fantasy that we can be done by these slides by Wednesday. And we don't have to come to class on Friday. But let's see if we can manage that. Yes. Project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I saw you just added the rest of the specs, and it's about like 40% of the marks, and we only have 2 days left to do it. And I have a test tonight. There's so many things. It's a bit late, but everyone's complaining, not just me.
Okay, it's fine. I don't mind if you complain. The specs. What I added this morning was the last step and the marking scheme. But the rest of the specs, I mean, the basic specs have been there from the start.
Yeah, we've done all of that.
Well, excellent.
But like the extras, 2 days for extras.
I have seen most people that have showed me their projects have added extras already. They added their own ideas. And if you have added your own ideas, that you can get credit for them. Unless it's something really trivial. So you're not going to get credit for changing the background color from green to blue. Okay? So that's not extra work. But if you've done something that's sensible, that the demi thinks was hard work and that demonstrates you can program, you can get credit for that. Okay? So I've seen the following stuff. I've seen games at pause, games at restart. I haven't seen any sound effects, thank heavens. In fact, sound effects count only 5 marks because I don't want to encourage them at all. It'll be hell if everybody in the lab plays really loud sound effects. Bomb, thank you. Thank you for asking me this question. Okay. Bomb robot, grenade robot, drunken cat, these are examples of what you can add. And everything else that the demo is considered. Yes. I know. I've just realized that that may not be in that section, but the idea is that it's a cat that can walk from one lane to another lane. So instead of just moving to the right, it can jump up one lane or not. Can't move to the. It can't move to the right. The cat always moves to the left, but it can jump a lane. Okay. The demis will be in the lab tonight, tomorrow night, and Wednesday night. Okay. No. So which lab? Narga H. They can't go to Narga. Well, they can go to Narga D, but the issue is that Narga H is computer science lab, computer sciences lab. It's supposed to be meant primarily for computer science students, and Narga D isn't really ours. It's just a fluke that we happen to have a TAT there. Okay. So I'll add an explanation of the drunken cat, but you don't have to add one of these extras. If you think of something sensible. Yes, Scott?
What times will they be there?
They're supposed to be there starting at 7 o'clock for 2 hours, but they may stay longer. It depends on the demi. Yeah. I can't force them to stay the whole night. But you may stay the whole night, but I can't. And I shall put up a schedule for the marking soon. Hardest, do you want to ask something? No, you just want to. Excellent. Right, okay. So if you have done all the normal steps and you haven't written horrible code, you can achieve 75% for this project. Okay? And if you've done extra work, you can achieve more. I guess you're not very happy. Oh, no.
I just think for the people who like who want to do the project and like say finish and wait for the extra, like so if you want to get 100% or something, they wait for like the specs and are waiting for an hour like this and now and we have 2 days and it takes like it doesn't meet the specs properly, they have to change the project. It gives them quite like very little time to change it.
To change the extra work they've done.
Yeah.
But they don't have to change the extra work they've done. If it's sensible, and this is subjective, but if they've added something sensible, then the demis will give marks for that.
Maybe they'll wait before we release
before they even start. Yes. Yes.
Couldn't you just make the basics, just getting basics, the 75% now to count 100%, it's just count.
No, I don't want to do that. Most people get full marks for a project. Projects are always easier than written tests or practical marks. So hopefully you've done all the work you need to do to get 75% for the project. So we're now talking about.
So it's like we added this morning, the last 2 steps we started code, it's still 50 marks out of the 75 marks basic.
That's true, but these steps are not the project. They are just to help you. They are not. The project spec is at the top. I mean, this is the base. This is the details, and this says everything that you need to implement. Basic outline details that you need to implement to get your 75%. I feel that this project is too easy because I've given you a step-by-step guide. I think I've made everybody be able to do it, and that's not what we want. We want some people to do worse than others. So this step-by-step guide is really explicit, and I think you guys have had a quite smooth ride if you follow the steps. So I'm not being cruel, but in some way we have to balance out making it too easy and making it too hard. Hang on, Peter. No, not Peter. Jason, Robert, Mike, Matt. Yes, Matt.
I was just going to say that it's kind of like you're giving us 50% of the project to do.
I agree. Yes. Say again. I've given you 30% of the project to do.
In 3 days, yeah.
That's not accurate.
Well,
It's like you made the maximum 75% and then an extra 25% for extra credit, which isn't really extra credit, it's still part of the project, which only adds to 100. So you've given us up to 50% until this morning of
I'm not quite sure I understand that. Hang on. I'll think about it. Yes, Christian?
Is die extra punten of nog extra credit van die toekomstige student beperkt tot 10 punten?
Nee, dat is beperkt. Ja. Ja. If you've written this project, if you want to earn extra credit and you've written this project, then, and you've done nothing extra yet, you've done the basics and you've followed all the steps, you've done just the basics, and you want to earn extra credit, then for Thursday, you now have to add Postgame, and let's say be able to restart the game, and let's say one more robot, and you can earn 100%. So I think that's reasonable. If you've done it so far and you can't do those steps in the next 3 days, then I think 75% akum is maybe what you can solve. Okay. Yes, Shane.
I just wanted to make sure.
You just want to make sure,
Yeah,
yes.
the power robot and the drone robot.
Power robot, drone robot.
They only inflict damage on the cats once the cats are next to them, right?
When a cat attacks, yes. Yes.
According to your
Spec, yes. That is correct. Oakley dokley. More important. Christian, I thought your name was Armand. Who's Armand? Does he look like you? Oh. Well, never mind that. It doesn't affect you. We have another big piece of admin that we need to talk about, don't we? We need to talk about the test. Do you know what's going to be in the test? Not exactly, but you have a rough idea. Is that right? No, you don't. Yes. Yeah. So for this test, I'll set a paper with 5 questions, just like last time. There may have been 4 last time. Okay, but there'll be 5 questions. One of those questions will be general stuff that we've discussed in class. Like last time I asked about what's encapsulation and what is immutability and what is inheritance. Talk about that. And then the other 4 questions will be from the tutorials. Just like last time, the first test, 3 of the 4 questions were taken from the tutorials and modified a little bit. To be perfectly honest, I don't recall what those questions were. I've set tens of tests in the meantime. But this time there will be 4 questions. So at least 3 of them will be from the tutorials. But what we haven't done in the tutorials are the trees and the symbol tables that we've discussed in class. And there will be a question about that as well. So you can basically, I can't write on here, but you can basically reckon on 1 theory question, ish. I mean, the inheritance wasn't too difficult last time, was it? Many people got it right. 3 questions from the tutorial work, tutorials 5, 6, 7, and 8. And 1 question about symbol tables. And the other piece of information, where it's to be written, I have to find it out. That's wrong. That should be Nagati as well. But it may be that we're in the right cell again. And this info should also be available to you, because it's basically on the exam schedule somewhere at the university system. Do you know what I'm talking about? Has anyone ever showed you how to find your exam? So I'm guessing that somewhere here, my profile, training, finance, management, research, timetables. Oh, fantastic. So if you go to my.sun, ACZA, I think it'll look a little differently. This is me pretending to be you. It may look like this, yellow. Oh, perhaps you can't even find it. Oh no, schedule and timetable. Well, okay, excellent. So you it's under studies, but for me it's under this little other heading. Oh, damn. Oh, so it's yellow, so you have access to it. And I think this little collection of answer scripts. Gee, I've never seen this. Okay, there's a little squirrel. On that. So that's not what I want. Exam timetable. Oh, there is currently no exam timetable. Oh yes, the system is broken, isn't it? I tried this the other day to find exam timetables. Yeah, but I think I tried this as well. There is currently no exam room timetable to display. Yes, Scott? See, this is why I gave up and asked the secretary to find out. This. Oh, you're telling me it's down here somewhere? Oh, okay, right. Oh, excellent. Good, fine. So let's find our room. Is it under computer science? Choose a module. Venue info not available yet. Okay. So I'll find out and I'll put it on our web. Okay. Right, guys. Okay, so let's just see if we can at least make a little bit of a dent in the symbol tables and the balanced trees. So last time I tried to explain to you why the axis for red-black trees or for balanced trees, binary search trees, can be much faster than an arrow. And I showed you one little argument, but I don't feel it was convincing, so I thought I'd try to tell you again. But since I can't write on the camera now, I might as well switch it off. Oh, perhaps I must switch it off and on. Oh, classic computer. Let's give it one more whack. Let's switch this on. I think it may be trying to switch on. Hang on. Give me a second. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but maybe we're lucky. Okay, so that's not working. That's a pity. Never mind. Okay, so there is a claim. In the best case, if a tree is perfectly balanced, its depth is at most log n. Log n. N is the number of elements in the tree. And this makes sense. This tree has 7 elements, and log n of 7 base 2 is, what do you want? I can't write anywhere, so you must tell me. Log base 2 of 7. Any takers? Oh no. You're using a calculator. That's not fair.
Between 2 and 3.
Between 2 and 3. Why?
Because log of 4 is
Yes.
2 and log of 8 is 3.
What does log mean again?
It's that exponent to which you must raise something. Raise 2 in this case to get that number.
So log 2 of 3 is the power to which you must raise 2 to get 3. Okay. Log 2 of 4, log 2 of 4 is 2 because 2 to the 2 is 4. So log 2 of 8 is 3 because if I raise 2 to the third power, I get 8. 7 will just be just below 3. So it's like 2.8 something. Okay. And that makes sense because the height of this tree is 3. It has 3 levels, 1, 2, 3. So that's fine. Sorry, guys, you're whispering at the wrong frequency. So just change it up. Okay. Whisper like this. Okay. Or somewhere else, but that pitch just it kills me. Okay. If the tree is not balanced, we're in a bad case. I mean, then in the very worst case, we can be in that left side where there are n elements, but they form a chain, so the height is exactly n. The depth of the tree is exactly n. And it doesn't need to look like that if we insert in the alphabetical order, then we'll get a tree that looks like that. If we insert elements in the tree in the reverse alphabetical order, so in descending alphabetical order, it'll look like that. But those are not the only two cases. I can construct another ordering where the tree will look like this. Oh wow, it's such an excellent exam question, which I won't be asking. I'll tell you now. I won't be asking you to, given a set of keys, find an ordering which will make a balanced tree. But it's such a nice question. Oh. But that's kind of like second year. It's too much to ask in the first year exam. In any case, here we go. So let's just see what this was. Oh, this was the very first element, the very last, the second last, third last, and they formed a little jaggedy chain like that. Okie dokie. So now the book is actually presenting a proof that the depth will be log n. But since I don't have paper and since I couldn't do this last time, we're gonna skip this. It's not critical for us to know this. It's not critical for you to know this. All you need to know is a rough familiarity with this idea, because next year you're going to do it in detail. You're going to analyze these kinds of algorithms and also recursive algorithms and learn how do you deduce the exact time consumption of an algorithm. How do you deduce this running time in terms of n? And it's a lot of fun because there are really complicated algorithms and they have weird kinds of running times. So you can have an algorithm that runs in exactly n to the 1.787 time. And then it's always a big mystery, where does 1.787 come from? Who thought of that constant? What would make it run exactly that time? In any case, that's for next year. But as it turns out, for binary search trees, if we are lucky, we can have log n insertion time. So if you want to put something into the tree, it takes log n time. And if you want to get something out of the tree, it also takes log n time. And that's a big improvement on any kind of array. You can't do this. You can't achieve the same performance with an array. But the issue now is, this is only if we are lucky with a binary search tree. How many unbalanced binary search trees are there? It's a difficult question, and we're not going to answer it now, but we can, at least here we have 3. And you can imagine that a tree may be unbalanced if half the nodes are on the left-hand side. Oh, no, that's balanced. Oh, well, if we have 2 chains like this, half the elements go down the one side, half the elements go down the other side. Then there are n elements in the tree, but the depth is n over 2. So if I put these 2 chains on the side together, imagine these are different elements. If they were joined up by a common root, I'd have a binary tree that looks like a fork in the road or a triangle without a base. And the depth would be n over 2, which is still n time. Remember, for this running time, we try to throw away the constants. So it's not, there are many, many unbalanced binary trees, and there really is only one balanced binary tree. I mean, any binary tree that's balanced will look roughly like this. Many fewer of these. So the chances that we are going to be unlucky are quite high, and we want to avoid that. We want to ensure that we are always lucky when we build the binary trees. Unfortunately, you can't do that. You have no control over which elements are inserted in the tree in which order. I mean, if this is a user typing in the elements, it's very likely they'll work with some kind of ordered list. If you're reading the words in a sentence, in a book, and putting them in a big binary tree, the chances that the words in the sentence are alphabetical are quite low. So we can't guarantee that we'd be lucky. But there is a solution. It's called a red-black tree. It's called red-black because the nodes are colored red, and some are colored red, some are colored black. There are certain rules you have to obey to keep this coloring valid. And if the tree becomes, as soon as it is unbalanced, we shuffle it all, we do what are called rotations. And that'll guarantee that the depth is always less than 2 times log n. So that guarantees a bound on the depth for us, an upper bound. Now, we had a look at an implementation of a symbol table long ago, last week. We looked at these two routines to put a key and a value inside a balanced search tree. But before that, I think we had a look at somewhere. Give me a second. No, we didn't. I'm sorry. We didn't have a look at the code for array implementation of a binary search tree. But here is an array implementation, sorry, a tree implementation of a symbol table that uses a red black tree. For the very first time, we're going to use one of Java's built-in data structures. The first time for most of us, to implement a symbol table. So let's see, public class symbol table, it takes 2 parameters. It's a parameterized class, the kind of key we want to insert, and the kind of value we want to insert into the tree. And remember this, sorry, in the symbol table. And remember the symbol table will be a mapping from keys to values. And then the very first thing we do is we declare a local variable inside this class that's private, so it can't be seen from the outside, which is a good thing. We don't want to know how the symbol table is implemented from the outside. Clients do not need to know. We want to change this overnight from an array to a binary search tree to a red-black tree without affecting clients. So this is a private variable. It's called st, okay, symbol table. That's not a big shock. And its type is tree map key value. So inside the symbol table, it uses a different data type to store the keys and the values. It uses a data type called a tree map. And here at the top, you can see that tree map is actually one of Java's own data types. It's in java.util.treemap, and we have to import that. But this will basically make the red-black tree for us. So here we declare the variable. Here we call its constructor. So st is now pointing to a new empty red-black tree. It's called tree map, and it really implements a red-black tree. So that's a bad name for this data type in Java. But there are other reasons why they call it a tree map. Okay, now things are quite easy. If somebody puts a key and a val into the tree, we simply call st.putKeyVal. So that'll put the key and the value in the tree map called st. So we are really just passing along all these incoming commands right to the tree map. I know there's a little if statement. We'll look at that in a second. But there's also get, which retrieves the value of a key. And once again, we simply call the get routine of the red-black tree, st's get routine. Remove works the same. Contains works the same. What the hell is this? Oh, we haven't even talked about that, so we'll just ignore it entirely. But there's this little if statement here. Java has many of these data types. Got 2 minutes. Java has many of these data types that allows us to store elements. Sometimes it's straight up, so it's just a collection of elements, numbers, let's say. Other times it's more complicated, as in this case, where we have keys mapping onto values. That's not a set, that's a mapping in mathematics. All these data types have restrictions. So you can't do everything with all of the data types. It's subtly different, and they have different costs. They use more or less memory, they run faster or slower, and you have to choose which one is best for my application. But also have these restrictions. And one of the restrictions of a tree map is that you're not allowed to put null values in a tree map. You're not allowed to map a key to null. And there's very good reason for that. I mean, that we can even imagine ourselves. If I check, if I want to know the value of a key. Let's say the key is not in the mapping. So I have some key that's not been mapped to anything. Then this get routine that we've defined is supposed to return null. And that's a signal to me that this key is not associated with anything. So if I allow keys to map to the value null, then, and I do a get on that key, then I also get null. So I can't distinguish the case, I can't distinguish between the two cases where a key is not mapped to anything and get returns null, or a key is actually mapped to the value null and get returns null. Both those cases of get looks the same to me. So for that reason, many of Java's data types don't allow you to add null values to the collection. They exclude that. And that is why this routine of ours checks and sees if the value is null, we're going to assume that the user actually wants to remove it from the symbol table. So if val is null, or val is null, we remove the key. And otherwise, we insert it in the symbol table. That's when we're putting keys and values in the symbol table. You don't have to do that same kind of check with remove because it only takes the key. There's an odd thing about these symbol tables that are built into Java, and that is that they don't allow you to map anything to the null value, but they often allow you to map null to something else. So I can do a put null, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, so that the value null is actually mapped to a valid value in the symbol table. Some allow that, some don't. But okay, I'm going to stop now, and we're going to try our best to finish these slides on Wednesday. And I'm going to remember to switch off YouTube today. Stop broadcast. Thank you.